02722422000. You've got about 10 minutes to give us your thoughts on that. Now, as you've been hearing over the last few days, thousands of people are now thought to have died after Typhoon Haiyan swept through the Philippines. One of the worst affected areas has been the island of Leyte. We know that because we've seen the pictures of buildings flattened by the storm surge, not least in the city of Tacloban, where there are still reports of bodies lying unrecovered in the streets. There are thoughts that the death toll will rise sharply. 10,000 people are believed to have died in just one region of Leyte alone. Well, here in the studio with me is our own correspondent who... some of you might know him because he's come in and rapped in the studio before as well. In his rap name, Derek, what is your rap name? Derek Bennett, by the way.
Right. Derek Bennett, Clencha.
Clencha.
That's my rap name, yes.
And what people don't know is that you're of Filipino heritage.
Yes.
What has the feeling been like in the Philippines community here in Britain to the dramatic scenes that we've seen from there?
Honestly, I've got to be honest with you, Dotun. There's a lot of turmoil, in the Filipino community right now because we're here, and no matter what anyone says, no matter what your financial circumstances are, we're much better off than anybody that's out in the Philippines right now. So we're really, really sad. It's an emotional time even when we're looking at the images that are on the news. It makes me well up. I just recently came back from there a couple of months ago. And you just learn to appreciate life. You see the fact that just turning on the tap, we have hot and cold water. These guys have to pump it out of the ground literally, and their resources are next to nothing. They have no resources, to be honest with you. And for the fact that something like this has happened and it's come to take away the little that they have, it's really saddening.
We've seen before Caribbean communities respond to things like Hurricane Ivan there by getting together the community here to raise funds and aid for people over there. Is that happening in the Filipino community here as well?
Believe it is. I'm privileged to say that in London there is a Filipino community. For those that don't know, I know sometimes when you're not from the community yourself, you're kind of really sort of segregated. You're away from what's happening, so you don't really have a lot of knowledge. But I am part of that Filipino community that is here in London, and it's very, very, it's prominent. We're all prominent. We all know of each other, and it only takes a few Filipinos to get in touch with another one. If you see somebody and you're like, I want to get in touch with them, they're only like about 2 or 3 Filipinos away. So there are events that are going to be coming up to raise money. I'm actually performing. I'm proud to say that I'm going to be performing at one on the 24th. It's in Uxbridge, I believe. The bar is called FM Club, and it's at 184 Uxbridge Road, and it's to help raise proceeds.
And when is that?
It's on the 24th.
24th of this month?
24th of this month.
Okay. Is there a website or anything that people can follow this
I believe if you
progress
just type in FM Club on Google.
FM Club.
FM Club on Google, you should
in
be able to
Uxbridge.
get all the details. And it's happening on the 24th. So all the proceeds, there's going to be lots of activities and stuff for kids to get involved in. All the proceeds go straight over to the Philippines.
You say you're going to be performing there.
Yes.
What will you perform?
Literally, I've got a couple of tracks. I tried to keep as versatile as possible. So I've got music that caters for the UK scene, but also I pay homage to my heritage as well. So I can't fully speak in the national dialect, which is Tagalog, but I've implemented I've got songs that I can implement some of the Tagalog language in. So
can we have a taste of that?
Okay, so this one's a bit more sentimental, so to speak, and I think it's fitting for the occasion. So it goes a little something like this. It goes, Kumusta ka? Let me state a couple facts. I'm the bridge that's connecting Filipinos and blacks, Filipino by blood and London by nature. Some would say you mix all three and you've got danger, but I say I'm blessed, the Bob Marley distress. No matter where I go, Pinoy pride's in my chest. And yeah, I might be half Filipino, but my heart's full. Whenever there's a flood back home, I feel that pain too. But I ain't trying to make you sad. I just know I'm glad to be from such a beautiful place. Philippines, I miss you bad. And we've united in our darkest hour to shine bright. That's right, we call it Pinoy power. So salamat for taking the time to listen. I'm trying to feed the Philippines. Through my dreams, I'm driven to help those who have nothing and don't know where their meals are at. Helps come in, but for now, mag-ingat ka. So how I ended that rap was with mag-ingat ka. That means take care. So until we meet.
Hey, you'll get me swelling up now with emotion as well. You know, I've seen those pictures, been following the story for the last 2 or 3 days. Of course, it's horrible time, actually. You know, when you see those pictures and you see what conditions people were living in there, they didn't stand a chance, many people.
Honestly, they have next to nothing out there, honestly speaking, you know, and they're happy people. They're just happy people, Dotun. You know, and it makes you realise here we have a lot more than them, and we take advantage of a lot of things.
It's a region that suffers a lot of natural calamities,
yes.
Earthquakes, typhoons and things. How do people pick themselves up after this? How has it happened in the past? How do they get back on their feet?
It's been said that, you know, the Filipino pride, there's something that we call it Pinoy, just for people who don't know. Pinoy is basically a Filipino boy and a Pinay is a Filipino girl. So Pinoy spirit, we talk about the Pinoy spirit. The spirit is just so resilient. You know, obviously they're quite religious in the country where I come from, in the Philippines. Some of them are Catholic, and then some of them, you have the Muslim parts as well. Honestly speaking, I just put it down to their spirit and their religious beliefs. You know, they believe in God a lot. So that's how they pick themselves up, to be honest with you. When you see it, they're always praying over there, and, you know, it keeps them sane, honestly speaking. If they didn't have their religion, or if they didn't have the people power that they have, I don't know what would happen to them, to be honest with you. And that's just proof. You can go to the gym and work out, but real strength comes from within.
They believe in God. At times like these, they must feel like God has abandoned them.
I can understand exactly what you're saying, honestly speaking, but, you know, it's just a testimony to their strength. That's all I can say, you know, honestly speaking. And it brings them closer together, you know, and natural disasters happen all around the world, you know, if we're being honest. It's not just happening in the Philippines, you know, but it just so happens that it's happened, and the scale that it's happened in the Philippines, and then how recent it's been as well. It's happened, they got hit with the Ondoy floods as well a couple of years ago. So, you know, like, literally speaking, it keeps them together and it keeps them at one. So,
Derek Bennett, otherwise known as Clencha, thanks very much.
Thank you so
another
much.
time we'll discuss about you being the bridge between Jamaica and the Philippines as well. I did like that line as well.
Definitely, thank you.